Hi boys and girls, it's me, Miss Joan, and I'm here to talk to you about a big birthday we will be celebrating this Wednesday, and it's the birthday of the state of Israel. It's over 70 years old now. You might think, wait a minute, wasn't it there a really long time ago? And you know what? You're right. So let's start at the beginning. First, let me show you where Israel is if we look at a map of the world. Okay. North America, that's where we live now. We're right here in New Jersey. And Israel is almost 6,000 miles away. Watch, I'm going all the way over there. Right here, there's Israel. And it's very tiny. It's about the same size of the state of New Jersey. That's where Israel is. If you go there, the only way you can get there is to go on a plane ride. And it's a really long plane ride. It takes about 11 hours. Like the whole night you would be sleeping, and then you'd wake up and you still wouldn't be in Israel yet, but pretty soon. So let's look at a map of what Israel looks like. It doesn't look that different than New Jersey, right? Okay, there, Israel. Tel Aviv is the capital. Well, I guess Jerusalem is where the embassy is now. It's a lot of complicated politics there we won't discuss. But this is the Mediterranean Sea. It's a very big sea. And down here at the end of Israel, that's the bottom of Israel, and that's the Red Sea. Which brings me to the holiday that we celebrated not that long ago. I'm sure boys and girls still remember about this story about Passover. Okay, so the Jewish people were slaves in Egypt, right? Remember all this, and then all the plagues and everything, and then finally God was like, Moses went to Pharaoh, let my people go. Finally, let them go. Okay, here's a picture. It's just a drawing. It's not a real picture of that. But all the Jewish people left, okay? Remember that? They left. They had to eat matzah because they didn't have time for their bread to rise, and then they got to the end, right? And Moses held his staff up and opened up the sea, and then everybody went through, okay? And then what did they do? They wandered around the desert for a really long time, right? 40 years. During that time, Moses went up to Mount Sinai and got the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments, boys and girls, that's a holiday we're going to be celebrating at the end of May when we got the 10 Commandments. And pretty much you guys know, they're all the rules that we have now, being kind and don't hurt anybody. There's 10 of them. We'll get to that in May. And the holiday is Shavuot, where we celebrate that. So, at that time, when the Jewish people left Egypt, they hung out in the desert for 40 years, and then they went to Israel. It was called the land of Canaan. Also, they said the land of milk and honey because, it was so beautiful, and it was all kinds of good and happy, wonderful things were going to happen to them. So they got there, and they were living there in the land of Canaan, and they built their big, beautiful, giant temple. You see that? So you remember from other stories like Hanukkah, remember the bad guys, they broke the temple, remember the whole thing, they had to clean it up and they didn't have enough oil to last for 8 days. It was only one day, but it lasts for 8 days to get more oil. Well, that was the big temple. And through the years, a lot of times it did get destroyed. And then they rebuilt another temple. And anyway, right now, today, this is what remains of that special temple that the Jewish people had from a long time ago. It's called the Western Wall, and that's in Jerusalem right now. This is what it looks like right now. And this actually is just the wall. It was a retaining wall. So the temple must have been so gigantic that this was just a small part. And a lot of people go there to pray right now because it's still there right now. So, okay, so when did Israel become the state of Israel? Well, in the 1940s, that was about 70 something years ago, all the United Nations, which is the people in charge of all the countries in the whole world, all got together and said, you know what? I think it's time for the Jewish people to have their own state. Let's all vote on it. Okay, who wants Israel to have their own state? I do. And everyone voted, and the majority won. And that is when Israel became the state of Israel, which we celebrate this Wednesday as Israel's birthday. Israel has their own flag, and this is what it looks like. If boys and girls check the lesson plans, Mrs. Buck gave you ideas on how to make this flag yourself. All you have to do is cut out 2 strips of blue paper and glue them onto white paper. And then this is 2 triangles that you can glue on. Unfortunately, Miss Joan has all her paper, all her blue paper is in her classroom right now. So here at my house, I have this and I have a blue Sharpie. So I'm gonna make my own Jewish flag by drawing it, and then I can color in these lines. The boys and girls can use whatever they have at home. If you have blue paper, you can cut it out and glue it on, and then you can make your own Israel flag that we can use right now to celebrate this Wednesday, when we celebrate that Israel has been a country for 72 years. And we are so happy that Israel's there. Israel is a very tiny country, but they do a lot of really good things. So that's all about Israel. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Have fun making your flag, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Israel's birthday party. Bye-bye for now.